At 26, he wasn't broke in the way people usually imagine. He had a job. He showed up every day. His bills were paid on time. There was always food in the fridge. From the outside, nothing looked wrong. But when he opened his banking app at night, and the screen lit up in the dark room, the balance barely registered. It wasn't shocking anymore. It didn't scare him. It didn't even surprise him. It was familiar. Too familiar. And somehow, that quiet familiarity felt heavier than panic ever could. He lived in a small apartment. Minimal furniture. A mattress, a desk, a laptop. The walls were bare, the floor clean but empty. Everything in the room reflected the same truth. Nothing was building. Weekends were spent scrolling on his phone. Late nights were spent watching shows to relax. He had dreams once. Big ones. Travel. Savings. Investments. A life that mattered. Now, the dreams felt distant. The reality felt repetitive. Every month followed the same cycle. Payday arrived. Relief. Bills. Taken care of. Slight comfort, but money left over. Barely any. He promised himself, "Next month, I'll save." And he tried. For a week. Sometimes two. Then, life happened. Unexpected bills. Social outings. Small purchases that added up. By month's end, zero savings. Nothing changed. And the cycle restarted. He wasn't reckless. He just avoided discomfort. Avoided looking at spreadsheets. Avoided budgets. Avoided feeling the stress that came with responsibility. Some nights, he'd scroll social media and see others doing more. Travels, cars, investments. He would feel small, not angry, not jealous. Just behind, and he would tell himself, "I'll catch up eventually." The word eventually became a quiet lie. One evening, he sat at his desk. Laptop open. Phone on the table. Bank account open. Almost nothing left. It wasn't a number that hurt. It was the truth, reflected back at him. 3 years of work, effort, late nights, and still, nothing to show for it, he realized. Not life, not luck, not income. The problem was consistency. He had knowledge. He had access. He had time. But he didn't have the discipline to follow through. He didn't make a dramatic plan. No spreadsheets. No radical lifestyle change. Just one small rule. By the end of this month, I will save at least a small amount. Not to get rich. Not to prove anything to anyone. Just to prove he could keep a simple promise to himself. The next day, he adjusted his spending. Skipped a few coffees. Cooked at home. Closed social media for a few hours. Nothing extreme. Nothing uncomfortable beyond reality. Just small steps, repeated quietly. He didn't feel proud. He didn't feel motivated. He just felt steady. Weeks passed. Small amounts saved. Not enough to feel wealthy, but enough to feel different. He didn't tell anyone. No one noticed. It didn't matter. The difference was internal. A quiet shift. A small victory that no one else could take away. He looked back over the months, the times he had said, "Next month," the times he had avoided responsibility, the quiet regret. It wasn't shame. It was observation. He realized that the months he wasted weren't dramatic. They were ordinary. They were quiet. And that was the danger. At 26, he had nothing saved. But he also had time. And for the first time, he understood that discipline didn't feel inspiring. It felt repetitive. It felt quiet. He didn't need to change everything. He needed to start with one rule. One promise. One small step. If this feels familiar, you already know what needs to change. No dramatic ending. No flashy success. Just a man, quiet, making one small decision that could slowly change his life. And that was enough to begin.